We're here with David Osimo today in Athens. David just finished a 2-day course on recent developments on Web 2.0 for all the staff here and the PhD students and friends of the Greek Interoperability Center. And so now he's about to give us the core.
Yes, the pills.
So, David, first welcome.
Hi.
Okay.
Thanks for inviting me.
Good. And give us the most important 3 things, areas, killer applications that come to your mind in Web 2.0.
I think the 3 most important things, first I would say knowledge. It's about knowledge management. It's a different way to manage knowledge, a more emergent way, which is open to let you learn also what you are not looking for, but which is relevant for you. Second is openness by default, is the fact that you start thinking in terms of sharing at the beginning of any process you are doing, which helps you also in knowledge management, in learning new things, in understanding problems, in thinking laterally. And the third, I would say, is the emergence of tacit knowledge, of taste sharing, is the fact that you connect to people is the Amazon paradigm. People who like this also like, but extended to everything you do. What music you listen, what people you follow on Twitter, what news you are reading. So you are sharing taste, which is much more powerful, because in the world of 1.0, what they ask you is give us a description of yourself through a checklist. In this case, it maps yourself against your behavior without you knowing it.
So what about killer apps now?
Yes.
Okay, these are the main areas that you expect things to change.
Well, my favorite is definitely RSS. RSS is the RSS everywhere. When I see something that is not RSS, I get nervous. And luckily, so I would say my favorite application is a service which transforms web page in RSS feeds. And there are similar services on the market, which I use extensively. Another killer application, well, would be at this moment is Twitter, in the sense that this capacity of providing a back channel, instant communication with people you don't know, opening to contribution from people you don't expect, and the capacity to have discussions in real time while you're listening to a presentation and comment and criticize and give you an honest view. I think it's very powerful because it cuts a lot of smoke, a lot of poor content. Web 2.0 is very good in cutting poor content.
And the third?
Oh, I miss the third. What would I say?
Well, this is Greece, there's always a third.
There's always a third. I would say friend feed. Friend feed is merging Google Reader with social networking. So it's merging the news reader and sharing it with your friends and having discussion on specific item you find of interest. This is allows me to basically to have the most interesting conversation and to meet the most interesting people I would never have thought of meeting instantly, and not because we introduce ourselves and say, oh, what are you doing, what am I doing? No, because we suddenly realize that we are reading the same piece of paper, the same piece of web page.
Or at least you're looking for.
Or at least we are looking for, but we find relevant content, which is relevant for both. But at the end of the day, it's really the capacity to aggregate people in a relevant form around meaningful issues, which is a game changer.
Okay. So let's invite others now to join this quest. How do you see research in this new approach, in this new endeavor? What do you really want from research scientists in this new quest for the next, let's say, 3 to 5 years?
I think there is, I would answer in 2 ways, the how and the what. I think Web 2 changed a lot on the how of research, in terms of involving the users more deeply in the process, in terms of more frequent beta releases, trial and error, shorter development time frame, changing the way projects and software is developed. But in terms of the what, I think the problem we have with Web 2 is that it's still a very elitist phenomenon. Web 2 works perfectly, but only for a few people, and actually thanks to the fact that there are only a few people involved. I'm not sure this application would work if the majority of the population would use it. I think these applications will not work in the same way if the majority of the population were to be involved. Not really in terms of infrastructure, but in terms of noise. The filtering mechanisms that we have now in place, the collaborative filtering, are very artisanal and they work well in this context. But I think we need better filtering mechanisms, interoperable filtering mechanisms across different platforms, and ways to engage in qualitative conversation with hundreds and thousands of people. I think this is the key objective, to develop policy tools which are able to engage large quantity of people. Currently, the tools we have, you have a problem when you go above 100. This is what, for example, Tom Steinberg, the director of My Society, says. And I think this is the key area of research which should be addressed.
So, David, tell me now something more related to what we do here in Greece. In this quest of research towards Web 2.0 elements, how do you see this idea of regional centers? I mean, we are here in Athens and we have a good knowledge of the requirements, at least, of the region. And we try to engage in projects doing further research, of course, if needed, capitalization of the knowledge.
I think the key issue, this is very important, because the key issue about this kind of research is working across borders. What I mean is across disciplines and across users and producers and researchers. You need to bring together these actors and you need to involve them in the process. And this is why we're very happy to join forces in working in designing and conceiving the research agenda. So I think in this context we need a consensual effort to start making up our mind on a consensual research agenda, because we have different technological areas, different disciplinary areas going in different directions, and we have to build some weight around it, some consensus, some weight, some critical mass of research. This is why centers like yours are important. This is why we try to work together, and this is why the Commission is also launching an exercise for establishing a roadmap for governance and policy modeling, where we hope to give our contribution.
Hopefully. So, until the next time.
Yes, thanks for inviting me. Bye.